What if I told you that you don't need $1 million to retire? You might need $500,000 or $2 million. It depends on one simple number, the 4% rule. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how much you need to retire and how to get there. What if I told you that you don't need $1 million to retire? You might need $500,000 or $2 million. It depends on one simple number, the 4% rule. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how much you need to retire and how to get there. The 4% rule is one of the most powerful concepts in personal finance. It tells you how much you can safely withdraw from your retirement portfolio each year without running out of money. Here's the formula. Multiply your retirement portfolio by 4%. That's how much you can spend each year. If you have $1 million, you can spend $40,000 a year. Every year for 30 years. If you have $500,000, you can spend $20,000 a year. If you have $2 million, you can spend $80,000 a year. The math is simple. Your number depends on how much you want to spend. So the first step is figuring out your number. How much do you want to spend each year in retirement? Multiply that by 25. That's your target. Let's dive deeper. So how much do you actually need? Let's calculate your number. Start with your desired annual spending in retirement. Let's say you want to spend $40,000 a year in retirement. That's a comfortable lifestyle for many people. Multiply that by 25. $40,000 times 25 equals $1 million. That's your target. You need $1 million invested to generate $40,000 a year using the 4% rule. If you want $30,000 a year, you need $750,000. Want $50,000 a year? You need $1,250,000. Want $80,000? You need $2 million. Your lifestyle determines your number. Don't forget Social Security. The average Social Security benefit is about $1,800 a month. That's $21,600 a year. If you get that, you need less from your portfolio. Let's do the math. You want $40,000 a year. You expect $20,000 from Social Security. You need $20,000 from your portfolio. $20,000 times 25 equals $500,000. That's a much smaller number. So here's the formula. Desired spending minus Social Security equals what you need from your portfolio. Multiply that by 25. That's your retirement number. That's your number. Now, let's talk about where this rule came from and why it's so trusted. The 4% rule comes from a famous 1998 study called the Trinity Study. Researchers looked at 30 years of market returns to see how much you could withdraw without running out of money. They assumed a portfolio of 50 to 75% stocks and 25 to 50% bonds. That's a balanced, diversified portfolio. And they tested different withdrawal rates. They tested withdrawal rates from 3% to 7%. The goal was to see which rates would survive 30 years without running out of money. The result, a 4% withdrawal rate, had a 95% success rate over 30 years. Even through the worst market conditions, the portfolio survived. That means even if you retired right before the dot-com crash or the 2008 financial crisis, a 4% withdrawal rate would have let you retire successfully. That's powerful. That's why the 4% rule is so trusted. It's not a guess. It's based on actual market history. Now, what if you want to retire early? What if you want to retire at 45 instead of 65? You need your money to last 50 years, not 30. The 4% rule was designed for a 30-year retirement. For a 50-year retirement, a 4% withdrawal rate is riskier. You're asking your portfolio to last 20 more years. So early retirees often use a lower withdrawal rate. Many early retirees use the 3.5% rule instead. It's more conservative and gives your portfolio a higher chance of lasting 50 years. Let's do the math. If you want $40,000 a year, the 4% rule says you need $1 million. The 3.5% Rule says you need about $1,142,000. That's an extra $142,000 for safety. The key to early retirement is flexibility. If the market is down, spend less. If the market is up, you can spend more. Adjusting your spending can dramatically improve your success rate. Many early retirees also work part-time. Even $10,000 a year reduces how much you need to withdraw from your portfolio. It gives you more flexibility. So for early retirement, use a more conservative withdrawal rate, stay flexible, and consider part-time work to reduce your withdrawal needs. Now let's talk about how to actually build the portfolio that will fund your retirement. So how do you actually build the portfolio that will fund your retirement? It's simpler than you think. You don't need 20 different funds. You need a few low-cost index funds. The classic retirement portfolio is 60% stocks and 40% bonds. Stocks provide growth. Bonds provide stability. This is the portfolio the Trinity Study tested. For stocks, use VOO for the S&P 500 or VTI for the total U.S. market. For bonds, use BND for total U.S. bonds. That's all you need. If you have $1 million, put $600,000 in VOO and $400,000 in BND. That's a simple, diversified, low-cost portfolio that can support a 4% withdrawal rate. Once a year, if stocks have done well, sell some stocks and buy bonds. If bonds have done well, sell some bonds and buy stocks. This keeps your risk consistent. If you want even more simplicity, use a target date fund. Pick the fund closest to your retirement year. It automatically adjusts your allocation as you get older. Keep your fees low. A 1% fee on a $1 million portfolio costs you $10,000 a year. Over 30 years, that's $300,000 in fees. Stick with low-cost index funds. So that's your retirement portfolio. VOO for stocks, BND for bonds. Rebalance once a year. Keep your fees low. That's it. Before we wrap up, let me share 3 common mistakes people make with the 4% rule. Avoid these, and your retirement will be much safer. Mistake number 1, not adjusting for inflation. The 4% rule assumes you increase your withdrawal every year with inflation. If you don't, you'll fall behind. Mistake number 2, being too rigid. The 4% rule is a guideline, not a law. If the market crashes, spend less. If the market does well, you can spend more. Mistake number 3, ignoring taxes. Your retirement withdrawals will be taxed. If you need $40,000 to spend, you might need to withdraw $45,000 or $50,000 to cover taxes. The best way to manage taxes is to have money in different types of accounts. Roth IRA tax-free, traditional IRA taxable when withdrawn, and brokerage account capital gains. This gives you options. So remember, adjust for inflation, stay flexible, and plan for taxes. Do these 3 things, and the 4% rule will serve you well. Let's quickly recap. The 4% rule says you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year without running out of money. Your number is your desired spending minus Social Security, times 25. Here's your action plan. 1. Calculate your number. 2. Start saving and investing today. 3. Build a simple portfolio of index funds. 4. When you retire, use the 4% rule as your guide. The earlier you start, the less you need to save each month. Starting at 25 is much easier than starting at 45. Time is your greatest asset. And remember, this video is for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. Your situation is unique. Talk to a professional if you need personalized advice. If this video helped you understand the 4% rule, please hit that like button. Subscribe to Money Mint for more simple money tips. Next time, we're talking about how to build a $1 million portfolio from zero. You won't want to miss it. I'm Mr. Mint, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, your future self will thank you for the retirement planning you do today. Start now. You've got this.